welterweight Carlos Condit. Our first question goes to Jay Anderson with Cage Cypress.
Thanks very much. Carlos, it's been a while since we saw you, and I know a lot of fighters have gone through this, but transitioning from your last fight in front of a crowd to fighting in Abu Dhabi in an empty arena with all the restrictions and masks and social distancing, what has that process been like for you?
It's been interesting, but I've seen lots of different things throughout my career, um, and when it comes down to it, I have a guy across the cage that's gonna come and try to take my head off, and I gotta try to take his off first, and that's really what it boils down to.
Jackson Wink is obviously a well-oiled machine at this point, but how has your training camp been impacted by the pandemic?
Um, well, so a lot of gyms were closed, and I was kind of quarantining and distancing. So I was training on my own quite a bit at my house, um, and yeah, so I had to get kind of a small group of training partners that I could trust, and hopefully we weren't going to be passing the corona around by breathing heavily into each other's faces while we were fighting.
Fair enough. Court McGee here is a veteran himself, obviously a durable opponent. So just give us your thoughts, first of all, on the matchup.
Um, I'm excited about the matchup for sure. I think Court brings it every single time. He's well rounded, comes from a great camp, got a great skill set, and I think we're going to put on a hell of a fight.
One of the things that he said earlier is that he's excited for this matchup, and he normally doesn't get excited when he learns his opponent's name. When you hear something like that, what does that mean to you?
I think, honestly, I think this fight's going to be special. We're both a couple of dudes that are passionate about fighting, and I think just style wise and the way that we approach the game, I think this is going to be an interesting fight, and I think it's going to be something to watch.
Now, obviously, a few factors here. I mean, the time away and the fact that you haven't won for a while. Don't want to make too much about it, but I mean, heading into this fight, having lost five straight, I mean, do you view this as a must-win in terms of continuing on in your career?
I don't know as far as continuing on in my career, but I don't know. UFC's probably going to get sick of me, not showing up. So I should probably win. Um, but I'm not. I put in the work. I did the preparation, and I'm going to go out there and show up, and I'm confident that I'm going to come away with the win.
Outside of the cage, you kind of ventured into the apparel business recently, and I know you've done the coffee thing before as well. That sort of entrepreneurial side of you, is that something you want to embrace more as you get closer to the end of your career?
Yeah, for a number of reasons. It's given me a different direction to grow and to think. I've been ultra focused on being a professional martial artist for my entire adult life, and there's a lot to learn, lot to experience, but expanding in that direction is it's been fun. It's been new and exciting because I have to learn and develop in a different way.
All right, and last one for me. This is just kind of not anything to do with anything, but you've trained with John Jones. You fought GSP. Those are two of the main picks a lot of people would say for greatest of all time. Do you have a choice in that debate?
Oh, as far as who's the greatest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, you're putting me on the spot. I think John has, because of the era that John fought in and the opponents, I think I'll have to lean towards John.
Fair enough, man. Well, good to see you back. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We'll take our next question from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Carlos, what's up, buddy? Every fight is a big fight, and you've gone through the hills and valleys of the MMA career, your whole career. But Does coming off a few losses, raise the stakes in a fight like this? I don't want to say do or die or those kind of like, trigger words, but do you feel like this is kind of like that must-win situation for you?
Um, I think it's must win in the sense that if I lose, it's going to hurt really bad and suck. But I'm not really attached to like, oh, this is like, it's like this is a doomsday scenario for my career. Um, I think that's putting too much pressure on things that I can't control. I prepared thoroughly and rigorously for the fight, and um, I think I got my head straight, and those are the things I can those are the things that I'm in control of, and I know that if I go out there and compete to the best of my ability, that I walk away with a win in this one, and if I win, I think that you know there's a lot to be said if I go out and put on a good show.
Absolutely. You were going to fight Mickey Gall last year, and I know obviously that one didn't come together. I know you've never been a guy to really handpick, say, I want this guy over that guy. Was Court McGee literally just the fight they offered and you accepted? Was there any talk about any other opponents, or was this just that's the guy and you said, yeah?
Um, well, actually, when they mentioned Court, I like Court, and we've kind of, kind of have a whatever, like a rapport. And I was like, well, is there anybody else? But like 5 minutes later, I'm like, you know what, fuck it, let's do the fight. Let's make some money. It's work. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, no, basically that's the only name that got offered.
You've never been a guy side of fighting. You're not really the trash talk guy. You just go out there and fight and perform, and we all know what a Carlos Condit fight is going to look like. But when you face a guy like Court, who is so respectful and a nice guy, and as you said, obviously a guy does it just kind of take all that other stuff out of it, all the other elements of the fight? Just go in there and fight and know it's going to be fun to fight a good fighter.
Yeah, I mean, but like on the other side of that, yeah, he's a nice guy and he's all friendly and stuff, but he's a savage and he's gonna come out and try to knock my teeth out. So, there's still a little bit of an edge.
I know in the lead up, there's been a lot of talk about the possibility of after this, when everything goes well and facing off with Nick Diaz, he's coming back. I want to ask about the Matt Brown fight. That's one that we've heard twice. Didn't come together. I know Matt has said he really wanted that fight, and when the Mickey Gall fight got announced, he thought it was going to be you and him. I'll ask about those two fights. Are those two fights you'd still like to revisit Nick for the rematch and maybe finally get in there with Matt Brown?
Yes.
Thanks, Carlos.
We'll take our next set of questions from Gat Pangalingan with Dojo Drifter.
Carlos, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. You mentioned earlier that you had to get your head straight. What does that mean, really? Were you dealing with any demons, like between fights or after your last fight?
Yeah, hell yeah. Always. Um,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Feel free to expound.
No, I think that I don't know. Yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of different things that have been going on inside. Like pertaining to to training, and then my personal life. But yeah, I don't know. And in so a lot of those fights, I felt like I was good, and then in the moment, just kind of, I don't know, things didn't come together.
Yeah, and you've been in the game for a while and you've achieved some amazing things. Is it difficult finding motivation to keep fighting at such a high level?
No, like as much as I know and as much as I've learned, there's still so much more and so far to grow. So that always keeps it new. Like I learn new stuff. I have an amazing coaching staff around me that, we're always creating new stuff. And, the ability to go out there and showcase that is really exciting. So that's what motivates me.
Yeah, and I'm curious to your goal now. Is the goal to make another run at the title? Are you simply writing out your contract, or are you simply out to do what you love? What is your why right now?
My why is fighting because I love it and making some money and see where that takes me. I don't think that I'm past my prime. I've had a skid, but I feel like I can turn it around and make a run for sure.
Well, we look forward to that, and we wish you the best of luck, sir. Thank you very much.
That's all the time we have for you today, Carlos. Thank you.
So.
Hey guys, this is Praveen the Boss. Thanks for watching our video. Click on the subscribe button to catch all the latest videos from MMA India Show and MMAindia.com. Thanks. Cheers.